for anyone who'd like to simplify their browsing experience and make it more efficient. We're going to review an extension called Vimium. This is an extension which allows us to control the browser by using keyboard shortcuts, just like editor Vim. So in this video series, we're going to review this extension in details and see how we can become more efficient while using browsers. Vimium extension is available for multiple browsers, including all browsers that are based on Chrome, and where we can install extensions from Chrome Web Store. And the way we install it is just like any other browser extension. If you'd like to learn more about this extension, Vimium has pretty good documentation on GitHub. So now that this extension is installed, I'm gonna open up configurations of this extension by pressing this options link. As you can see, it has quite a few configuration options, and we're going to review most of them. And if we'll press question mark, we're gonna get such dialog with a list of all default keyboard shortcuts. There is also this link at the bottom which allows us to toggle between basic and advanced shortcuts. And right away I'm gonna redefine a few shortcuts for myself. We can simply do so by using the following syntax, especially because anytime I use Vim, I tend to redefine motion keys. By default in Vim, we use H, J, K, and L keys to move around, but I always shift all those keys to the right by one key, since I prefer to keep fingers of the right hand in the default position when using QWERTY keyboard layout. So in here, as you can see, to scroll the page up and down, we can press J and K by default, and to scroll the page to the left and to the right, we can use H and L keys. And if we'll try it out, as you can see, it's working. The page gets scrolled, but I'm gonna define a couple of mechanisms here, by one for each motion key, because I'm going to redefine J, K, L, and semicolon to be my motion keys. So basically I'm saying that J will be responsible for scrolling the page to the left, K key will be responsible for scrolling the page down, key L will be used to scroll the page up, and finally semicolon will be used to scroll the page to the right. Every time we modify configurations, we have to save the changes first by pressing save or by pressing keyboard shortcut Command Enter on macOS. And now if I'll try to scroll the page down and up, I'll have to press K to go down and L to go up. And by the way, all available commands that we can use while defining keyboard shortcuts, we can see on this page. Here will be the full list of the commands that we can use and bind to keyboard shortcuts. But just because we have remapped some of the keys, for example, I have remapped J to scroll the page to the left, the default key, H, which is responsible for scrolling the page to the left, still works. And if you'd like to unbind certain keys, we can use unmap, like so. This way I'm saying that key H will no longer work to scroll the page to the left. Let's also take a look at the example where we can scroll the page to the left and to the right. In my case, I'm gonna press J to scroll the page to the left, and semicolon to scroll the page to the right. As you can see, it is working. There is also a way to scroll to the very end or to the very beginning. And by default, to jump to the beginning, we can use the capital H, and to jump to the very end, we can press Z, capital L. But just because I have redefined keys that are responsible for moving to the left and to the right, I'm gonna add a couple of mappings in here. So in my case, I'm gonna press Z, J to scroll to the very beginning, and Z, semicolon to scroll to the very end. Let's not forget and save the changes and try it out. So to jump to the very beginning, I'll press Z, J, and to jump to the end, I'm gonna press Z, semicolon. Next one, what about moving through the browsing history? There are a couple of default shortcuts to navigate through the history, and those are capital H to navigate back in history and capital L to navigate forward in history. I'm gonna add a couple of mappings. So to go back in history, I'm gonna press capital J, and to go forward in history, I'm gonna press colon or shift semicolon. Alright, I will save the changes, and let me just navigate around a bit to have some history. And now if I need to go back in history, I'll press Shift J. As you can see, it works. And if I press Shift semicolon, I'm gonna navigate forward in history. Next, let's see how we can navigate through the tabs. So to go to the previous tab, we can use G capital T by default. And to navigate to the next tab, we can press G, T. I'm gonna bind those actions to different keys. So in this case, we need previous tab and next tab commands. Once again, I'm gonna save the changes and try it out. Take a look at the tab bar. When I press Shift K or Shift L, we are basically changing tabs and navigating to the left or to the right in the tab bar. And a couple more things before we finish this lesson. As you remember, to scroll the page down and up, we use J and K by default, but I have redefined those keys and I can use K and L to scroll page up and down. There are also a couple other keys which we can use to scroll the page up and down, but in this case we're gonna scroll faster. So to scroll the page by the half of the height of the current window, we can press D, which stands for down, and to scroll the page up, we can press U, which stands for up. So by using these keys we can scroll much faster, and anytime we press D or U, we will scroll the page by the half of the page height. And finally, to quickly jump to the very bottom of the page, we can press Shift G, and to scroll up to the very top of the page, we can press G, G. So press G twice. Just like in Vim, to navigate to the very end of the file or to the very beginning of the file. That's about it for the first lesson. In the next one, we're gonna keep exploring Vimium keyboard shortcuts.